I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts!
Hey guys, what's up? What is up, pups? How you guys doing today? Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Slowly inching in closer to that weekend, another weekend. But I hope you guys are doing well. Doing alrighty. I am just trying to keep my shoulder loose as much as possible from the surgery. My goodness, there's a lot of stuff happening that are people spurging out over on X. It is crazy. We've got a lot of articles that have caught my eye, so we'll kind of get in here as quick as possible. But if you're new to the show, we talk about pop culture, anything that ranges from like the good, the bad, the ugly, all that stuff. And we give our 2 cents, if it means anything. Doesn't matter, but I'm always appreciative that people like to hang out with me. If you're new to the show, just feel free to smash that subscribe and punch that thumbs up button. And if you want to get notified when I go live again, whether that's doing this show or doing my game streams, turn on the notification. We're on Rumble, YouTube, X, and you can find my other social media either listed in the descriptions, like on YouTube and Rumble, or in my link tree found in my bio on X. So yeah, let's hop into it, because some really funny, laughable stuff happening. Like starting off strong with Assassin's Creed Shadows being delayed. Who would have saw that coming? Who would have seen, or who would have seen that coming? Who'd see that coming? Whatever. I am not very good with grammar, and I should be, because my mom was specialized in reading. She was a reading teacher, so you'd think I'd be good, but I'm not. But over in Video Game Chronicle, we have Ubisoft delays Assassin's Creed Shadows, drops traditional season pass model. Well, who cares about that? But according to this, the move comes after Star Wars Outlaws failed to meet expectations. Man, we warned Ubisoft many a times, but we ultimately knew the writing was on the wall, and we would know that they would not care. And so they're now reaping what they sown. But you got to be a little on the defense about this, because originally planned to be released November 15th, it's now released February 14th. Interesting, considering Valentine's Day. And also, isn't supposedly he's supposed to be gay? So is it really because of Star Wars Outlaws or whatever, just doing so terrible? Or is it because, they want to plan it around that time? I just find it very convenient that it's, around Valentine's Day. I should be using my left arm just so my shoulder can heal as much as possible. But here, let's make some room. We're moving controllers and USB ports around so I don't constantly be reaching over that way. Okay. So the company is also departing from its traditional season pass model. The move comes after Star Wars Outlaws. I mean, this is saying it's because of Star Wars Outlaws failed to meet expectations following its release last month. And this is what they said. Oh, okay. I guess there you go. There's the official, tweet. So listening to players' feedback, sure you did. I think you were listening more to the dollar signs just going down. I think that's what you were listening to. If you did listen to the players' feedback, you possibly could have avoided all this, but we know how stubborn the DEI woke garbage is. And as an illustration of our player-centric approach, sure, the following important decisions related to Assassin's Creed Shadows have been taken. It will now be released on 14th of February, 2025. While the game is feature complete, The learning from the Star Wars Outlaws release led us to provide additional time to further polish the title. Does that mean like actually respecting Japan? Because I feel like that's going to take more time than just a simple polishing. This will enable the biggest entry in the franchise to fully deliver on its ambition, notably by fulfilling the promise of our dual protagonist adventure, with Naoe and Yasuke bringing two very different gameplay styles. Interesting, because now they're specifically talking about the promise of a dual protagonist adventure. I'm not holding my breath though. We are departing from the traditional, because didn't they recently like release a pic of what is it called? It's that famous icon from the bombing of is it Hiroshima or Nagasaki? That structure, and they like released something about like an image, and a lot of people were pissed. Maybe one of the articles will bring it up. We are departing from the traditional season pass model. All players will be able to enjoy the game at the same time on February 14th. Those who pre-order the game will be granted the first expansion for free. The game will mark the return of our new releases on Steam Day 1. So then in a conference call following today's announcements, they attempted to play down concerns that Sony's newly revealed Ghost of Yode, an outwardly similar historical action-adventure game, also set in Japan. Well, let's be real. Ghost of Tsushima knocks Shadows out of the park. Let's not try to be like, oh, that's convenient that Ghost of Yode is coming out. It's like, dude, nah. They were probably planning to do it at some point. So they brought up the idea that could eat into the Assassin's Creed Shadow sales. Now both titles are being released in 2025. And then the CEO, Yves Guillemot or whatever, who cares? I like to say that there's a lot of space of very high quality games. Well, of course, but your games aren't high quality. Oh, they may like use the latest technology and, motion cap and stuff like that. But in terms of like story, research, all that stuff, not even close. And those two games can sell very well. Well, I think one will probably sell a lot better than the other. Let's not kid ourselves. And Ubisoft also said today that it's committed to improving the quality of Star Wars Outlaws following a disappointment launch for the game. How about you? Well, I mean, you can't do it anymore, but maybe on future endeavors, you'd realize that you would have good quality before its release. That just makes sense to me. I hate this attitude that video game studios have where it's like, oh, we'll get like 95% of it done and anything else we'll like fix with like updates and stuff. Oh, I miss the old days. Miss the old days where even, they did their best to get it as, as finished as possible. And if there was an update here and there, that's one thing. But the constant updates, alas. So the company told investors it wants to get the game in shape for the key holiday shopping season. In February? What are you talking about? Okay. In response to those sweet Valentine's Day sales? In response to player feedback, Ubisoft's development teams are currently fully mobilized to swiftly implementing a series of updates to polish and improve the player experience, in order to engage a large audience during the holiday season to position Star Wars Outlaws as a long-term performer. Oh, I guess they're talking about Star Wars Outlaws. I thought they were still talking about this garbage. Yeah, I mean, you can only polish a turd so much. This is what I find funny. You're straight up just polishing a turd at this point. So absolutely hilarious. Let's see. I'm trying to like kind of tie this in together. Okay, yeah, because we also have a Video Game Chronicle article that kind of talks about it. Again, Ubisoft CEO saying that both can sell very well in 2025. So on Tuesday, it's a pretty turn, indeed. On Tuesday, Sony announced plans to release Ghost of Yode for PS5. I don't know why I said that weird. In 2025, the Ghost of Tsushima sequel is set in Japan in 1603. And then earlier today, which I said Tuesday, so yesterday, delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows from November to February. Game is also set in Japan, takes place in the late 16th century. Again, during a conference call on Wednesday, Ubisoft was asked if the outwardly similar historical action-adventure games, both being released in 2025, could harm sales of its products. Yves, again, as we read before, said, there's a chance that, both games can sell very well. Very delusional. I'm sure one game's going to sell better than the other. And then Ubisoft's chief financial officer, Frederick Dugo, said Ubisoft's chief's concern was making sure Assassin's Creed Shadows hits its desired quality bar. On the competition related to Assassin's Creed Shadows, the focus is really to make sure that we deliver a fantastic experience with the game's dual protagonist approach, with two different and complementary gameplays, with Yasuke and Noe, in a setting taking place in feudal Japan that should be really enticing. Okay, the first article we read from, I believe that Park Place, or was it anyway, they made it sound like they're not touching, or there could be an opening that they could just replace a character, but I mean, it just said right here they're not changing Yasuke or Naoe. So all the focus and everything that really informs our decision, that being to delay the game, is to make sure that we polish the game and provide this fantastic promise. Previously scheduled to be released on the 15th, it's now ready to launch February 14th, 2025. Like I said, ironically, a supposed gay black dude, conveniently on Valentine's Day. Well, Ubisoft said the game is feature complete. It said it had decided to give its developers more time to polish the product based on the learnings from last month's disappointing Star Wars Outlaw release. Yeah, we've reread this already. They're absolutely trying their best not to just admit the fact that their retarded dick sucking for Yasuke is just completely backfiring on them. Ubisoft also said today that it's committed to improving the quality of Star Wars Outlaws after initial sales proved softer than expected. Softer than expected? It was completely flaccid. If we're going to be using the sexual innuendo, who says that in a quote? Someone had dick on the mind. The company told investors it plans to swiftly implement a series of updates designed to get the game in shape for the key holiday shopping seasons. Again, no amount of buffering that turd is going to save it. Is going to save it from its terrible sales. Oh my gosh. Absolutely hilarious. Oh, brother. Let's see. Oh, no, it was another Ubisoft or Video Game Chronicles. Because then we just read this one. And then Niche Gamer also talked about Assassin's Creed Shadows being pushed back. Day one PC. Plans to release the game. So in in their recent announcement, they also plan to release the game across multiple platforms on day one, avoiding temporary platform exclusivity issues by being on PC on day one. You can read their full announcements below, right here. I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Woo. So this actually says, let's see. So dear players, I guess we'll actually read the official, or unless, did they quote this? Did they type this out? No, they did not. It says, dear players, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a dream project for us. Well, yeah, dream in the sense that you found a guy that you could utilize and like pretty much bastardize him to like your woke golden idol. Finally bringing the series to feudal Japan with many features developed with our community in mind. Well, not the Japanese community. I mean, you clearly didn't give a shit about them. All set in a beautiful and an immersive world. Oh, wait, I skipped a line. With our community in mind, such as parkour or the renewed stealth, brought by new technology, all set in a beautiful and immersive world. This is an ambitious addition to the franchise, and rich experience that can be lived through the eyes of two unique protagonists. A made-up, well, aren't they both made up? Like, isn't the one chick supposed to be, like, Nobunaga's daughter or something? Or some famous guy's daughter that, again, had very little information, so they made her up. And for sure, Yasuke. But we realize we need more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of our key features. Is it removing that copyright like flag that you said, fuck it, we're still using it anyway? Is it fixing the sakura blossoming in the wrong season? Or the, specific architecture? I think they had some architecture wrong too. Like all that stuff that should have been done by your historian researchers, all that stuff. As such, we made the decision to postpone the release date to February 14th, just in time for Valentine's Day. The game will release on a broad range of platforms, including Steam at launch. Additionally, pre-orders will be refunded, and all future pre-orders will be granted the first expansion for free. We understand this decision will come as disappointing news. I find it absolutely hilarious. I mean, I'm more so chuckling on the inside. I'm not like laughing out loud, as you can see at the moment. But I thought it was funny when I saw that headline. Especially those who've been waiting patiently for an Assassin's Creed game inspired by feudal Japan. Well, I mean, yeah, there were people out there waiting for an Assassin's Creed game taking place in feudal Japan. But you guys went ahead and decided to focus on a very limited knowledge-based historical figure in terms of, any info about him. And said that's what we wanted to do, but now say it was all about the environment, but then go back and say it's about this. I don't know. Can't even keep it straight anymore. I mean, they couldn't even keep Yasuke straight. And ultimately, your experience as a player. Rest assured, we are looking forward to the movement. You will embark on memorable adventure with Naoe and Yasuke. Dang it. I was really hoping that maybe... No, I wasn't hoping. Who am I kidding? They're not getting... They wouldn't replace... They wouldn't go through all this just to be like, yeah, we're swapping out Yasuke here. They're not doing that. Until then, we thank you for your ongoing support. And then, I guess this was stated by Mark Alex Coda on behalf of all teams working on Assassin's Creed Shadows. And then a rundown of the game, but we don't care about that. Well, there you go. It gets pushed back. They're claiming it's because Star Wars Outlaws did absolutely terrible. I guess once the game actually comes out, we'll see if it was truly because Star Wars did terrible or it was because of the constant backlash happening. I don't know. I still have red flags because it's conveniently on Valentine's gay. Gay in the sense of they stated, and I don't remember reading any other articles that actually confirmed that they're making him gay, but I'm just going to assume so because it wouldn't surprise me, and they usually do anyway. But red flags that one, it's on conveniently on Valentine's Day, and two, you got a gay protagonist, probably two gay protagonists. Let's be real. So was it a cheap excuse to do that? I think that would be even more hilarious. Is that the real reason they're pushing everything back? Is they just want to make sure that it falls on Valentine's Day? Oh yeah, isn't it also Black History Month too? What a convenience. Let's see. Well, we'll switch on over since we're talking samurai. We've got Ghost of Tsushima follow-up. Ghost of Yotei announced. Publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment and developer Sucker Punch Productions have announced Ghost of Yotei, a follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima. It will be launched for PlayStation 5 sometime next year in 2025. Here's a rundown on the new sequel plus its reveal trailer. We set out to make a new Ghost game. We wanted to maintain the core pillars established in the first one, playing as a wandering warrior in feudal Japan, offering freedom to explore at your own pace and highlighting the beauty of the world. We also wanted to continue to innovate, to create something fresh but similar. We looked beyond Jin Sake's story and the island of Tsushima and shifted our focus to the idea of the ghost instead. But Jin Sake is the ghost. Are they going to establish it now to where it's like a title that just gets passed on? Anyway, at Sucker Punch, we love original or origin stories, and we wanted to explore what it means to have a new hero wearing a ghost mask. See? And conveniently, it's a woman. And uncovering a new legend. Now, granted, I want to see more because there are some red flags that are out there. A lot of people are freaking out about this. I was thinking about this before I went live. It's unfortunate because back in the day, if something like this was happening with a female lead, no one would really bat an eye about it. But because now with the DEI and woke garbage that has been constantly being pushed out and pushed in, we're now in defense mode. Our fists are up and we're just sitting there waiting to see what the enemy is going to throw at us. And a lot of people, and this is one of those situations where a lot of people are now instantly like starting to throw like haymakers and stuff right away, to where that may not be the best move at the moment. We might need to like do some jabs first, before we go in for that hard hit. And to me, this is one of them. It's kind of like the same thing that they did with the new Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. And they're like, oh, Zelda's the main character. And it's like, okay, I mean, she's kind of been the main character, throughout a lot of the games. Now, did you actually play as her for the majority of them? No, but she was still a main character. Unless you count the terrible CDI ones. The other red flag, and we'll read about it, is at least the English voice actress. And some people are even complaining about like really this like a strong female samurai kind of wouldn't be like exist back in that time, but it's a made up region of Japan. But anyway, so while we're not diving into story specifics yet today, we can reveal that Atsu's journey takes place in 1603, more than 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. Our story is set in the land surrounding Mount Yotei, a towering peak in the heart of Azo, an area of Japan known as Hokkaido in present day. In 1603, this area was outside the rule of Japan. Wait a minute. So now they're kind of saying that it's been a while since I played the last one. I should play Ghost of Tsushima again. I thought everything was made up in Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, we know it's in a Japan-esque scene, but a lot of the world is made up. But now they're saying that it's not, and that it's kind of based on this real life. Anyway, whatever. Let's see. Where were we? All right. In 1603, this area was outside the rule of Japan and filled with sprawling grasslands, snowy tundras, and unexpected dangers. It's a far cry from the organized samurai clan who lived in Tsushima, and it's the setting for an original story we can't wait to tell you. This is also Sucker Punch's first game built from the ground up for PlayStation 5, and we're excited to build on the visual foundation we established in Ghost of Tsushima by making the world feel even more real. Okay, but just make sure that the story's good. We have massive sightlines that let you look far across the environment, whole new sky featuring twinkling stars and auroras, even more believable movement from wind on grass and vegetation, and more improvements we'll share in the future. Our new setting also gives us the opportunity to introduce new mechanics, gameplay improvements, and even new weapons. And our trailer today offers a glimpse into this world, but there's so much to show, and we'll have much more to share in the months ahead, including details about Atsu's journey and the people and animals she'll meet along the way. Oh, so Atsu's the main chick's name. We are forever grateful for the success of Ghost of Tsushima, and we can't wait for you all to experience the Ghost of Yote in 2025. Not Yoda. There's the trailer right here. I've already watched it, so you guys can check it out for yourself. So with that being said, so coming from that park place, Ghost of Tsushima sequel receives mixed reaction from gamers, as game features female protagonist. So gamers shared mixed reactions to developer Sucker Punch and subsidiary of PlayStation Studios, revealing its sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, Ghost of Yote, during the recent PlayStation State of Play event. So it keeps the protagonist hidden until, if you haven't seen the trailer, keeps the protagonist hidden until the end of the trailer, when it is revealed it is a woman and she is confronted by a wolf. And just like that Disney princesses probably befriends it without even doing anything. So in a piece in the New York Times written by Zachary Small, recently collaborated with Ubisoft to attack gamers over Assassin's Creed Shadows, it is revealed that the character's name is Atsu. Small also shared the story as one of underdog vengeance, with Jason Connell, one of the game's creative directors, sharing the game will allow players to wield firearms alongside melee weapons. Yeah, if you watch the trailer, she does fire a gun at the end. One seemingly lamented the fact that Sucker Punch was discarding Ghost of Tsushima's protagonist Jin Sake. Imagine hearing about Jin as a legendary folktale quest. Another wrote, Ghost of was the best idea to stick with. This way they can tell loads of different stories from different eras, showing pretty cool characters. Oh, so these are like the people kind of stating why they're not thrilled about this. So someone else says, so this is set in 1600, turn of the Sengoku Jidai period to Edo, 400 years after Jin Sake wrote defunct 140. 1603 is the establishment of the Tokugawa shogunate. And Ayode is a major mountain in Hokkaido, northernmost island of Japan, which leads me to believe we'll be able to explore Hokkaido. Exciting stuff, lots to explore. Another share, Jin is literally a ghost now. RIP. Very true. One person pillar-eyed the game, comparing it to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Sucker Punch saw Assassin's Creed Shadows and went, I hold my sake. I think they had that plan. I think it was the other way around. I think Ubisoft said, well, Ghost of Tsushima did really well, so we can do that too. And we found this sweet, unknown black dude who may or may not be a samurai, but fuck it, we'll make him one. And gay. And a boss. So these are just, I guess these are just YouTube comments. So, not really seeing. Well, Heel versus Babyface wrote, Ghost versus Tsushima was an excellent game, beautifully presented with wonderful characters and a strong driving narrative. Some of those stories involve people that think or act differently from ourselves, but when told well and in good faith, those stories can work well. Ghost of Tsushima was very well received by gamers in the country of Japan, who were so impressed with the respect shown that the Western developers were honored as ambassadors of the island itself, highly praised. He continued, I expected Ghost of Yoda, gosh dang it, not Yoda, Yote, to be no different. Sucker Punch have set themselves a high bar in terms of quality and expectation. I trust they want wholeheartedly to follow through on that. Gamers don't hate female protagonists nor female characters. They hate badly written characters and stories in general. Well, also masculized female characters too. Like sex sells. Like men like, hot women. Stop giving them the man jaw, and stop making them not have feminine features. They hate insecurity and forced ideologies where they shouldn't fit or belong. I, for one, am looking forward to the sequel. I expect it to be at a very least of the same quality as its incredible predecessor. So, Endymon had a different reaction. Ghost of Tsushima sequel stars a Japanese woman samurai warrior because, of course, it does. They can't help themselves until every franchise that was built on masculinity is replaced by women. Ghost of Yote is hopefully a smaller spin-off game, but if this is the true sequel and this is the new main character over Jin Sake, fuck that. So sick of the forced girl boss narrative, man. And I can understand that, but I think this is where that analogy I said earlier talks about people. We've been given such garbage in terms of girl boss is now everyone's in defense mode. We have our arms up, we're watching out, seeing what hits are coming our way. And Endymion is going for that haymaker call out like right away before we have a whole lot of stuff. But as of reading this, we're seeing more stuff because a lot of people are now pointing to, which we'll read here in a second, the English voice actress for Yatsu. So 8-Bit Eric also wrote, Ghost of Yote is set to crush Assassin's Creed Shadows. I do agree that it will probably beat the crap out of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm super excited for it. Some claim that grifters are upset it has a female protagonist, but that's completely off the mark. It's an original story that respects Japanese culture, unlike the forced Yasuke narrative. That's a really good point that I probably ultimately hope that they get right, is respect to the Japanese culture. Will everything be right? No. But then that begs the question of, would there ever be such a thing as a main girl boss samurai during this time of Japanese culture? And I've read, I think Razor Fist said, technically no, that never was a case. So you're having that weird, teeter-totter thing. Very Dark also wrote, Ghost of Yote looks great. Don't forget the developers of Ghost of Tsushima became ambassadors for the island because of the amazing job they did. I have faith in them to deliver another massive win. Hope to see more soon. And then what do you think about what you're seeing? So definitely mixed reactions from some folks. That's for sure. But then one of the big worries that people are now pointing to is Ghost of Yote protagonist is voiced by radical activist Erika Ishii, who thinks the police are white supremacists and supports transgender ideology. And oh boy, got the shaved haircut. And a lot of people are worried about this is because we know that a lot of the big actors who follow this certain ideology have a voice and get stuff changed. That's what a lot of people are worried about, is how much of an influence this person ultimately have or has used to make changes to the game. So it revealed, so again, we've read main character Atsu. It's going to be voiced by radical activist Erika Ishii. They wrote, "We are thrilled that Atsu is playing by the amazing Erika Ishii. Ishii is a radical activist because, not an, because there's no vowel, who claims in her X bio that she uses all pronouns." Oh, okay. Oh, brother. Furthermore, Ishii is an activist that supports body mutilation. In June, she encouraged her followers on X to support For the Girls that targets black individuals to encourage them to butcher themselves. She wrote, "Non-black folks looking to observe Juneteenth." Oh, gosh. Black nonprofit. I'm not reading this. We're not reading this. We're getting the idea. We're getting the idea. And then she previously promoted the organization, I'm assuming up there, Black Trans Lives Matter. So only those matter, not all Black Lives Matter. I love the goalpost moves. Today, please consider support. I'm not reading that. Oh, gosh. Anyway. So in February 2023, ahead of the Hogwarts Legacy release, Ishii appeared to support the failed boycott of the game due to J.K. Rowling's outspoken stance on transgender activism. She wrote, "I used to love Harry Potter. Went to every midnight release, cosplayed, was even in an HP-themed improv group. Now I'm happy to instead support and be a part of fantasy narratives where all are welcome. Trans communities, we deserve our own better magic. I will always fight for that." She included a video of her stating, "Fuck TERFs." I mean, magic's the only thing you desperately wish existed, because reality is a bitch. In a subsequent post, she added, "Muting but wanting to reiterate, trans rights are human rights." Oh my gosh, I hate that saying. I hate any of this sort of saying. All the rights you have are there. The rights you're talking about is to enforce your ideology onto people when your feelings get hurt. Where people say, "No, sorry, I don't live in a fantasy land. Sorry." I asked that instead of replying to negative comments to turn that effort towards positive actions. Well, usually when they say positive actions, there's some sort of violence. I'm noticing always an occurrence. A donation, sharing, / supporting trans creators and trans joy, whatever. Okay. So back in 2021, she said that police are white supremacists. "We will not let these terrorists shake our resolve. 2020 showed us that we will rise up and make our voices heard, despite voter suppression, facing down a white supremacist police force, risking," oh my gosh. I'm curious to know what struggles she thinks she has. Like, when was she, like... Eric... Like, when's her birthday? I'm curious. She's only 37. She's literally my age. Like, one year more. And that The Last of Us inspired her to enter voice acting. I'm just on Wikipedia. They're of course using the pronoun bullshit, but we're not catering to delusion. During their early career, oh gosh, she was advised to conceal her sexuality and political views to avoid losing work. Good advice. Because no one gives a shit about it. And number two, it should not be affecting the final product. When did she actually get into voice acting? Yeah, from what I'm seeing right now, any of these hardships that they're claiming, I doubt exist. It's just the fact that just the fact that they're upset because people will not cater to their stupid shit. And that ultimately no one really cares what you do. You do whatever you do, you do whatever you want to do. Don't drag me into it. But these people want to drag you into it because to them, they need to put all their energy into making sure that people confirm their self existence, which makes no sense to me. It never makes any sense to me. Like if you think that, the enemy out there absolutely hates you, like why even bother? Like why even give them the time and energy? It's because a lot of them know that it's bullshit and they just want the clout. Gosh. It is not like our fault that you have a low self-respect or low self-worth. I can tell you where to go look. I tell you to go look in scripture. But no, you gotta go elsewhere. You gotta go into an industry that you're pissed off at that claim, we're going on a tangent. Anyway. All right. So we're seeing more ideas that obviously she's very open about her politics and all her stuff. Top of hiring Ishii. Sucker Punch hired former Insomniac Games community manager and Sweet Baby Inc. Defender Thomas Hart to be the company's community manager beginning in April 2024. Hart announced he joined Sucker Punch, writing on X. Incredibly excited to announce that today is your first day. Defended Sweet Baby Inc. just a month prior. This whole Sweet Baby controversy is mind-numbingly dumb. Most people have no idea how games are made or what the consultant does. I doubt you have any idea, like what a community manager is. Many people don't care to listen to when someone tries to explain it to them. They would much rather have an other to demonize. Yeah, dude, the projection from this person. Oh my gosh. No one is retarded to realize that all this stuff that you're saying ironically comes from the side that you says wants to be as diverse and open as possible. And by that, they mean all the enemies need to be destroyed and removed so that only we can flourish, only so that, our ideology flourishes. Gosh. But that's why a lot of people are like kind of worried, which the solution obviously would just be to slap on the Japanese voice acting. But yeah, a lot of people are worried because it's like how much of an influence, especially since we literally just read, granted it's from Wikipedia, we literally read that apparently she was told to keep her stuff, conceal her sexuality and political views to avoid losing work, and then later became more open about their orientation and identity. The industry is beginning to recognize the value of authenticity and inclusion. It makes for better art, and it's what the majority of the world wants to see. That's a straight up lie. That's not even close. Because the fact of the matter is no one gives a shit about your sexuality. No one cares. It's the fact that you saw, and people like you saw an industry Wait a minute. What the? Did my internet like crap out for like a fraction of a second? Because I'm seeing like over on YouTube now like a bunch of chats. Sorry, guys. It's a ghost of Woki. Sorry, Komanga. Ah, oh, dang it. They are red flags. Sucker Punch might be in trouble. 37 years. Stupid. SJ says, fuck all. Sweet Baby Inc. They need to get out and get a life. When I'm that old, I hope I'm wiser. Rant averted. Good. Another company I can add to the blacklist. Okay. We're caught up. I noticed that, dude, I hate my internet provider. I hate them so fucking much. I just blame them from now on. Well, sorry that I didn't see everyone's chat. Rumble Studios failing me. See, now it's not even... Oh, my gosh. It's a good thing I have both tabs open. Or, like, multiple tabs open. Anyway, whoop. I think that was it. Yeah, because we scrolled back up. So, pretty much this article just shows a lot of, like, the nonsense that she spouts out. And I'm sure she'll... I noticed she was on a massive blocking spree, and who knows if she'll watch this, so... After what I just said, I'm more than positive I will be blocked. But whatever, I'm not losing sleep over it. Anyway, let's see. We've read that one. We've read that one. Read that. So all the more reason to be sus about this sort of things, because Sweet Baby Inc. employee admits that the goal is burning down the games industry to the ground. So I'm glad they're being open. Okay, nose ring, dead giveaway. I've learned to never trust anybody with this type of nose piercing. Don't do it. Just have red flags up immediately, because usually your intuition is correct. A Sweet Baby Inc. employee named Cameron Wild. And oh my gosh. And they always spell it with like a weird different letter. I've also noticed that too. Who claims to be see? Look at that. We can tell. Who claims to be non-binary, admitted that his goal is, quote, burning the games industry to the ground. Yes, because he hates it. So he should be removed. Because if he wants to be an activist, go be an activist. As far as I'm concerned, shouldn't be allowed in then. Seems activism is more important than creating good games, so get the fuck out. Get removed. In a presentation titled How to Get Away with Murder Subverting Genre Expectations. Someone was a Papa Roach fan. At the Game Developers of Color Expo. Oh my gosh. Discovered by YouTuber Kirsch. Oh, Kirsch. I tried reaching out to her to get her on the show. She would be a fun guest. Wild introduced himself saying he is a narrative designer and sensitivity reader with a company called Sweet Baby. Dude, oh my gosh. Sensitivity reader? That's the gayest thing I've ever heard. Oh my gosh. So Wild, who, according to Moby Games, worked on Tales of Kenzura, Zao, Suicide Squad. I mean, dude, lots of swinging and misses. Suicide Squad, Killed the Justice League, Alan Wake 2, The Crew, Motorfest, Kingdom 8 with EI spelled with the capital. Okay. And God of War Ragnarok. Then declare the stories we tell each other are way more than entertainment. They are how we create debate and preserve our collective values and beliefs. That's a straight up lie. It's to preserve a specific value and belief. And we can and should make better, more expensive, more representational content. Then in a slide titled, Cool, So Why Am I Here? One of the bullet points states, burning the game industry to the ground. In the next slide titled, So Why Am I Here? One of the points states, to prove that space where whiteness doesn't have to live is where some of the best stories are told. He explained, a lot of us who are really fighting for more inclusive games and storytelling don't have a choice when it comes to discomfort. A lot of us who are just existing don't have a choice. No, yeah, you're correct. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice to like control your skin color, but you do have a choice not to be an asshole. And a lot of these people are indeed assholes. which makes this really hard often. But recently I started realizing that discomfort, or the place where whiteness doesn't have to live, is where some of the best stories are told. You do realize, and it's where genre storytelling lives. And yet, would this space that you're claiming even existed if it weren't for the dirty whites? Again, see, they see something where majority of people who are white males who enjoy gaming, because that's just the way it is, and that's just the numbers, and that no one cared who was in the community as long as you just loved video games. No one cares. No one cares. These people are the cucks in the corner who get offended when something that they perceived as wrong and go, I'm not happy about it. Well, if 90 other people are fine about it, sorry, you don't get to voice. Shut up and keep serving the lunch tray. Because people can tell when you're saying this, not because you care about the field. That's the other thing. These people don't care about what they're saying. They just want the clout. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Anyway, I probably didn't do a good job, like, gathering my thoughts and expressing them, but whatever. Later in the presentation, Wilde explains why Blazing Saddles is his favorite film. The reason why I loved it beyond some truly Mel Brooksian slapstick humor and fart jokes, Blazing Saddles is extremely aware of social inequality and finds its humor in the darkness, which means I can laugh in a way that is cathartic. It's a movie that isn't making jokes about me, but for me, and I think that's really awesome. I think that sounds absolutely fucking delusional. It's a sad state of affairs. Yeah. Notice, for me. Me. It's all about me. Blazing Saddles is hilarious. But dude, even when it's making commentary, about the social inequalities, these people have to insert themselves into it. Their headcanon has to be the main thing. And they'll do whatever mental gymnastics they can to justify how their headcanon is the correct, viewpoint or XYZ. Because you can just tell in the text, but it's also a fact that Brooks worked with black writers to make sure the jokes came at the expense of whiteness and chipped away in an absurd social hierarchy. It's deliberately and unexpectedly a narrative that contributes to the liberation of people like me. See, the thing is that I'm sure all of these people could laugh at themselves. You seem like the type of person that would not laugh when a joke was made at your expense, whatever that joke may be. I think that's where the difference is. It isn't respectful, it's offensive. But yeah, it offends the right people, which is, to me, the point of truly incisive, intentional genre work. See? Right here. It offends the people who I deem deserve it. Who knew that being stupid could get you somewhere? I'm getting dumb just reading about this guy's bullshit that he's pulling out of his ass. In one ironic moment during the presentation, Wilde did share a nugget of truth. Ultimately, if you're telling a story that misses its audience, that doesn't ring true, or fails to cut in the right direction, the problem isn't that it's just insensitive. The problem is it's bad. However, he then points to Django Unchained being an example of this. While explaining his viewpoint, Wilde stated, so a context-free version of art is supposed to make people uncomfortable. Quentin Tarantino feels like someone who grasps after edginess when they don't really have any human tragedy to explore the depths of. They don't understand that growth comes from trauma, sure, but it also comes from joy. He holds a no pain, no gain mentality that I think is unshakable unshakably rooted in white supremacist patriot. Oh my gosh. There it is. Like, my dear Lord, I'm not reading a lot of his bullshit because it's so. Yeah, to me, this just sounds like Blazing Saddle gets a free pass because I say so, and Django Unchained doesn't because I say so. That's ultimately what I'm getting from this person. Then wrapped up his entire presentation by sharing that good genre starts with representation on the creative team. No, good genre starts with a good fucking story, you fucking idiot. The foundation of the project must be solid. While it also claims that the identity of your character, especially your heroes, must define their challenges in the narrative, but it must also define their What is he talking about? Good genre must consider its relationship to power. Power, right there. He wants the power. And when he gets a hold of it, he will never, ever let it go. That's what it is. What did you make of Wild admitting one of his goals is burning the game ended? I mean, not surprised at all. Not surprised. But we're also seeing major pushback because Sweet Baby Inc. removed Square Enix from its client list on its website. Because maybe they're waking up and they realize when they read stupid shit like from this person, they're like, oh yeah, we're not going to make any money if we do that. So yeah, we gotta get rid of this Sweet Baby Inc. So video game consultancy Sweet Baby Inc., whose goal is to push woke ideology into video games, removed Square Enix from its client list on its website. Wah, wah, wah. And there it is. Previously, it was listed in the middle of the second row on the company's list of clients between Ubisoft and Warner Brother Games. Right there. However, Sweet Baby Inc. has since updated their client list on their website, and it's no longer on it. Woo! Along with Square Enix, Nereal, a subsidiary of Devolver Digital and the developer of Reigns and Card Shark, is no longer listed as well. It's unclear why Sweet Baby Inc. removed Square Enix from its client list. However, an investor from Square Enix questioned the company about its relationship with Sweet Baby Inc. during a recent earnings report. Yep, and we've read this already. Investor, I think we did. The investor questioned, I'm personally happy about the shift from quantity to quality. I hope good titles will come out in the future. I'm concerned about, yeah, we have read this. I'm concerned about the Canadian consulting company, Sweet Baby. Square Enix is listed as a client, but is there actually a transaction there? What kind of transaction is it? Will they continue to do so in the future? And I think they said, I'd like to refrain from, making specific comments about individual clients. Also, Square Enix previously worked with consultancy group Black Girl Gamers on Forspoken. Did not turn out well for the company, and its representative director, Yosuke Matsuda, admitted the game sales were not good. Not good. And then he kind of gave a talk about, reviews of Forspoken. Been challenging. However, the game has also received positive feedback on its action features. Really? I heard zero positive feedback. Granted, I don't go in granted, I know when to step into the abyss, and for that one, I did not. That said, its sales been lackluster, whatever. Square Enix shut down the game developers Luminous Productions and absorbed it into the company at large, and it was announcing it was shuttering. It was shutting, you mean, in February 2023? It was shuddering at the fact that it was shutting. One possible reason why Square Enix is no longer listed as a client is that it committed to getting back to quality games and engaging with its customers honestly. Keyword being honestly. It announced a new corporate philosophy of creating unforgettable experiences and putting a focus on delivering ensured fun by shifting from quantity to quality after its profit declined 70% by embracing woke video game consultants like Black Gamer Girls. One thing is clear, not associating with Sweet Baby Inc. and its vision to wokeify video games and the industry is a good thing. However, Square Enix likely has its own problems internally. as it has embraced woke ideology, specifically transgender ideology, in the upcoming Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, as they changed it from male and female to body type A and B. And then that park. Why is that Park Place quoting Bishop? Anyway, I feel like I've read this before. Did someone in Bounding into Comics jump over here? Because they usually throw in that stuff. But anyway, that's pretty much it. It's just finishing the article with that quote. What do you make of Sweet Baby Inc. removing Square Enix from the client list? I hope to see that client list slowly get smaller and smaller until it's literally just this colored background with no one there, and that it closes down. Because we all know their goal. We all know their goal. Because people like this have admitted what the goal is. Alrighty. But on some sweet, sweet uplifting notes, first English dub trailer for Dragon Ball Daima, which honestly I'm not super interested in looking, but I am super happy that it's been confirmed for theatrical screenings and the return of Stephanie Nadolny. Or Nadolny. Is the L silent? Nadolny? I don't know why I'm having trouble pronouncing her last name. My apologies. In a Shenron level granting of wishes, the first trailer for the English dub version of Dragon Ball Daima has confirmed that not only will the upcoming series receive a special theatrical screening, but also its version of Kid Goku will be voiced by none other than original Funimation dub voice actor Stephanie Nadolny. I want to say Nadolny, but that's not right. Oh gosh, this is now going to bother me. I have to look up how to pronounce it. It is bothering me. I feel. Let's see. Here we go.
We did this.
And go.
You're gonna let me use your Dragon Ball so I can make my wish, right?
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me. It's great.
Your time with the series. First of all right, so today we're going to talk about Dragon Ball and your time with the series. First of all, I just want
Holy crap. You think you would just type in interview and you would. Oh, wow, that's really loud.
Welcome to another episode on the show. Randy and I probably drank KO. It's a great episode on the show. You help for taking time to be here with Stephanie Nadolny.
Nadolny. There we go, Nadolny. I thought I was, like, close, but dear Lord, that was bothering me. Ugh. Think you had it right, Nadolny? Anyway, she's back. She's back! And then word of her return to the world of Dragon Ball was first broken to the public courtesy of popular YouTuber Geekdom 101, who teased the voice actor's return on September 12th via his Twitter account. 12 days later, the YouTuber's scoop would be confirmed with the release of the first trailer of the English dub, where Stephanie could be heard once again voicing the series' miniaturized protagonist. Then longtime English-speaking Dragon Ball fans will remember her as the original voice actor for Kid Goku in Funimation's Dragon Ball and GT, as well as both Kid and Teen Gohan in Dragon Ball Z, last serving as the voice of Kid Goku roughly 15 years ago during the production of the 2010 Nintendo DS game Dragon Ball Origins 2. She would be replaced in the role thereafter by fellow voice actress Colleen Clinkenbeard, who had held the role ever since. Yeah, absolute garbage, because supposedly Sabat was being a sex pest. Though no official reason has ever been given as to why she was replaced, she alleged during a 2019 interview that it was a combination of both a vengeful ex-boyfriend and Funimation's clique culture that led her to being dropped in Bagaball. It exactly was probably that case. I've been seeing somebody romantically back from from like 2003 to 2009. And when we split, he absolutely completely freaked out and his ego was affected. And he said, I'm going to ruin your career. We called that voice actress. So he called all my employers and aired my business or whatever, my personal life. Dude, fuck these assholes. Fuck them. Gosh. I hate scum like that. You got to beef with someone, you take it up with them. You don't air it out to other people. I hate cancel culture. I hate it with a passion. My personal life, some of it true, some of it wasn't. And so I think that's what kind of led me to not being able to reprise my character was that. So turning to the company's high school-esque workplace, she then noted, it's like I said, it's a clique. Some people run around with these people. Some of these people have kids together now, and they play together. They go to the state fair together. Wasn't on purpose, but over time, I kind of got pushed out of the whole clique. And I was trying to just be professional and make it about business. I should try to reach out to her and see if she wants to be a guest on the show. I think that'd be fantastic. But there's a lot of people, from what I understand, just from making some appearances and things like that, that they're still flat out doing like, hey, these are my friends. I'm working with my friends. Of course they do, because they don't want to lose that power. I'm happy for them, but I completely feel like I was unfairly pushed out and that my personal life should have no effect on not being able to come back. I agree, because it really hurt. I had no idea what was going on. I was abused. And of course, when their personal life gets found out, they get a free pass. And I was abused and threatened by this man. He said, I'm going to ruin your career. I'm going to call everyone you ever worked with and just dog you out and brought you out. So I think that's why, if there's any other reason, I guess they call that irreconcilable differences. Alongside the reveal, Stephanie's return, the trailer also revealed the toy animation had teamed up with Fathom Events to bring the world premiere of Daima English dub to U.S. theaters. And then from November 10th to 12th, you can catch a limited theatrical screening of the dub's first 3 episodes, which will be presented alongside a special introduction from Goku's legendary Japanese voice actor, Masako Nozawa. And then President and CEO of Toei Animation released a statement on the upcoming theatrical theater. We are thrilled to bring the world dub premiere to U.S. theaters this November. This specific theater event offers U.S. fans an exclusive opportunity to not only be among the first to watch the never-before-seen English dub of Daima, but also to experience the start of this exciting new story by creator Akira Toriyama on the big screen. Die-hard Dragon Ballers will not want to miss it. So I'm not a fan of the chibiness, but I don't know. New series is a masterpiece from Akira Toriyama, and Dragon Ball fans will love seeing it on the big screen as it takes everyone in this exciting new world. And then you can find tickets that go on sale October 11th. Apparently, it's the same day for the worldwide premiere and Sparking Zero. Sweet. Well, good uplifting news. I'm sorry, Stephanie, that you got booted out for bullshit reasons. It never should have happened. The people who do that should be the ones getting kicked out, by the way, because it comes to showcase that they actually hate the industry and they're in at some point along the way. But anyway, this is September 26th. We want 25th. Let's end the show with seeing what games were released. Shall we? You got booted out for bullshit. Alone in the Dark 2, Mega Man X4, King of Fighters 97. I've heard of that one. I don't know if it's good, but Halo 3. There you go. And if you're a Dead or Alive fan, Final Fantasy Record Keeper. These are in bold, so apparently they were a big hit in Japan. The Legend of Heroes, Trail of Cold Steel 2. That's cool. Code Vein was released today. The Valkyria Chronicles 4, Mario Kart Tour, and Iron Meat. But that's like today on PlayStation 5. Look, I don't feel like that's been made a good enough impact to be put on there. And then we'll go to Moby Games. Go back one. Apparently Castlevania's tomorrow. That's a solid one. Are you just not going to work, internet? I hate you. What other stuff that we got here? The Japanese version of Resident Evil Director's Cut was released. The PlayStation version. Mario vs. Donkey Kong 2, March of the Minis. Interesting. Boop, 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 boop. Halo 3, like we said. Also the Legendary Edition for the 360. I feel like we've found a lot of the good stuff already. Just seeing if there's anything else that catches my eye before we close down. Mold on pizza? No. It should never happen. Every pizza should be eaten with love. Cold vein. Like we said. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else. But Castlevania's coming up tomorrow, so that'd be pretty cool. Alrighty, folks. That's all I have for you today. So thanks a bunch for hanging out with me. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you are new. Make sure to turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. And you can also check out my other social media listed in the description below or on X. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Sorry, I got distracted. But anyway, thanks again for hanging out with me, guys. You guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. So take care. Peace.